What up, y'all, and welcome to Boston International Speedway for the 7th race of the 2023 FBRL Napa Truck Series season. On pole for the second time this year is Luke Martin, and to his outside, a bit of a surprise in the form of Roberto Crown Jr. We've seen Crown run pretty well in recent races, and he gets to start second here this afternoon at Boston. AJ Jones, Bob Burns, row 2, James Silverfox, Nelson Reeves, row 3. How about Jeff Bolton in row 4 with Samuel England? And then Richard Johnson making his second start of the season. He's in row 5 with Alexa Luchon rounding out the top 10. Some pretty devastating news to the Napa Truck Series. Jordan Fisher currently in critical condition following a scary accident sustained in the Indianapolis 250. Fisher is out of the truck this weekend due to those injuries. Vince Freeze will be in the 6 for the foreseeable future until we know when Fisher can return. Freeze was originally scheduled to drive the 39 here today. That has allowed Shane Anderson to get an extra start. Making his debut today is Shane Anderson. He was not originally slated to debut until we went international at Italy. So that is the gist there. Also making his debut in the Napa Truck Series today is Benjamin Snyder. There in the 55 truck. He is starting near the rear, and then rounding out the field on provisionals, we have Jerry Cook, Blake Warren, Josh Crash, and Ricky Freeman Jr. Let's go trackside for the command to fire engines.
Help me get this party started. Drivers, start your engines!
Gearing up for 90 laps of action around this 1 mile banked up speedway. Very similar to Rockingham in a way. Lots of tire wear here. And for the first time racing at this track is the Napa Truck Series. Hardee's came here a year ago. Luke Martin's on the pole. James Silverfox starts in 5th, but Austin Rogers did not qualify for today's race, so it's the first time all year that only 2 of the 3 Silverfox Motorsports trucks are in the field. Martin, Jones, and Silverfox all clear single file out of turn 2. Jeff Bolton gonna move up to 4th place. Really good qualifying effort by Bolton. We'll have to see if he can keep it up here. The outside line can kind of defend, but the bottom line is still a bit preferred. Silverfox challenging AJ Jones for 2nd place. Richard Johnson up inside the top 5 now in 4th. And right now on the 3rd lap of the race, it's a Silverfox Motorsports 1-2. We see AJ was really able to send it in to turn 1 from the outside line. Anticipating a 1-stop race today. Tire wear about 3 to 4 seconds. Fastest lap in practice was a 23.632 set by Josh Crash, who we mentioned on the grid. Had to make the race on a provisional. Top 3 right now, some really experienced drivers in the Sony Cup Series. Luke Martin in the lead, James Silverfox in 2nd, and Richard Johnson in 3rd. As here comes Blaze McKinney looking to the inside of Richard for 3rd place. He's got Samuel England right behind him. And Alexa Luchon as well, but right now it's an SFM 1-2. Mentioned on the grid that this is Shane Anderson's Napa Truck Series debut. Earlier than expected. Slated to drive this truck at Italy, New Zealand, and then in the last 3 races of the season. But an extra start here for Anderson as Vince Freeze was tasked to fill in for Jordan Fisher. Once again, Fisher in critical condition. And we await updates on his condition when we get them, and hoping that Jordan Fisher is okay. Hate to see a competitor taken out of action due to any injury. But it has created a discussion of how to make the next-gen car safer, as just early on here in this season, big injury from the Sony Cup Series. Speaking of Vince Friese, he is up to 27th place after starting 37th. Very poor qualifying effort for Friese. Showed some decent speed in practice and just completely missed it in qualifying. But you can tell that this Martin Motorsports number 6 Mitsubishi is still very hooked up, still a lot of pace in it. And Friese is slowly but surely making his way forward. You see some other drivers struggling back here outside of the points. Tib Foster, Aria Carmona, Malik Nevins in the 48 way back there at the back of the picture. Also got Eric the Max, Stewie Schramm III, William Brock, and more. Roberto Crown Jr. and Jeff Bolton started inside the top 10, but they have been stuck on the outside line, and they have now fallen out of the top 10 completely, or rather the top 20. See Bolton back down to the bottom line, was able to get in a hole between Ben McDonnell and William Brock. But it's very, very easy to lose positions here at Boston, and it's very hard to get them back. At the front of the field here on lap 13, Luke Martin has a 1.1 second lead over second place Richard Johnson. Battle on for third between Alexa Luschon and James Silverfox. Really good run here so far by Luschon. And got to give some credit there to Bob Burns and Blaze McKinney right behind the number 3 Chevrolet as well. McKinney had a really good truck going at Atlanta. And then pit strategy and an incident really hurt McKinney's race. But McKinney looks strong here once again. Another fast Friese racing team, HendrickCars.com, Mercedes. As the drivers you see here in the top 8 have pretty much stayed up here so far. Take a closer look to those just outside the top 10. Ace Wild and Huck Davis have been moving forward. Both of these drivers started towards the mid-pack. Ace Wild in 20th and Huck Davis about a row or two behind him. They have managed to get to the bottom, and they have been moving forward. They are closing in on being inside the top 10. So the Monster Energy Racing Rams, along with the Joseph Strigley Racing Ram of Richard Johnson, all look pretty speedy today. But the same cannot be said for the Rams out of Breeding Enterprises, as right now the highest running one is Bradley Bishop Jr. there in the 88 in 16th place. Luke Martin has extended his lead to about 2.5 seconds now, as Alexa Luschon and Richard Johnson have been putting on a heck of a battle here for second place. These two have been side by side for the last 3 laps now. Make it 4 here coming to the start-finish line. Nope, never mind. Luschon finally gets the pass completed. Clears Richard Johnson for second. Maybe not. Richard sends it in to turn 1 on that outside line. Richard still getting a bit of a run there off of turn 2. Is going to send it again in turn 3. So it looks like Richard's got a little better bite on the entry, but Luschon gets it back on corner exit. But you see Richard not giving up now. Because of that, though, it's allowing Luke Martin to really drive away here. I mean, he is starting to just check out from the field. You know, last time we saw Luke Martin start on pole this year was at Dubai, and he dominated that race until about 3 laps to go when William Brock closed up on the overcut strategy and made a last turn, last lap pass for the win in a photo finish. But so far this afternoon, it looks like that is going to be tough to form once again, as William Brock is not even inside the top 20 for one thing. But for a second thing, the driver that is in second place is currently about 3 seconds back. We mentioned a few laps ago that Ace Wild and Huck Davis were on their way forward, and Ace Wild now is inside the top 5, fresh off a win at the Atlanta 150. Ace Wild is hooked up, moving forward, looking to get another win, maybe go back-to-back. I think it's going to be tough to do, at least right now with how this race is progressing. 3.2 second lead now for Luke Martin, as Lucian now fighting against Bob Burns to hold on to second place. But Ace Wild having a good run. Samuel England as well in his part-time endeavor here. How about Nelson Reeves? We saw Reeves run really good at Atlanta from the pole position, and then things didn't really pan out the way he expected. Ended up not getting an amazing finish. But he is running inside the top 10 here today, much like Blaze McKinney had a fast truck at Atlanta. These two looking to make what was a mediocre finish at Atlanta a great finish here today at Boston. Dewey Schramm III not having a good day in 31st. And oh, something's wrong. Whoa, Roberto Crown Jr. and Randy Riggs Jr. almost caused a crash there. And hearing Dewey Schramm III has a flat tire on his number 9 machine. Oh, and a tough break for Dewey. He's been having an incredible season after fighting through go or go home for the first 4 races. He sits 6th in the point standings with a top 5 and 4 top 10s on the season. But it looks like today is not going to be a day for him. But he is able to limp it all the way back around to the pit lane. So that will keep us in green flag conditions. James Silverfox has fallen outside of the top 15 and is now racing against Cody Goforth for 16th place. Oh no! The engine has just gone on the 84 Home Depot Honda. And a tough break for Cody Goforth. Fan favorite driver here. Has been doing very well in the Hardee's National Series this year in his rookie season. And last year's Homestead 150 winner is up in smoke. His race is over here this afternoon. Not the race Goforth wanted here. And you got to hope things go in a better direction for him tomorrow in the Hardee's National Series race. Not what Single C Racing wanted to see either, after having 2 of their trucks make the race on provisionals. As a bit of a bad luck season continues for the Single Z Racing team. Justin Johnson having a really good run today, currently in 19th place. Remember, Justin got 3rd back in the Daytona 250, and he was still in go or go home qualifying for the next 3 races. Missed them all, but has been locked in since, but starting to get in the danger zone again here of falling outside of the top 30 in owner points. And Justin, though, having a great day, currently 19th, right behind William Brock and in front of Vince Freeze. Freeze has driven the number 6 up to 20th place. Aria Carmona right behind him. But up at the front of the field, Ace Wild has moved into 2nd place, but it's a 6-second gap to Luke Martin, who leads the race. Roch White here. Ace Wild out of turn 2. Luke Martin's already in the middle of 3 and 4. And I don't know what Silver Fox Motorsports did to this Coca-Cola Mercedes, but that truck is hooked up. Justin Johnson is in the pit road here on lap 39. A little early to be pitting. I'm being told this is a scheduled stop. A little bit of a questionable strategy call here. Now, the fuel window is 45 to 48 laps, so maybe if you really save, you can make it 51 laps, but it's going to be a stretch here for Justin Johnson. Not sure if maybe they're hoping they get a caution after the green flag cycle is completed. but very early to be pitting here at Boston International Speedway. Being told that Luke Martin is going to be coming in within the next couple of laps. Figure it's a good time as any to kind of do a quick go through of the field. Luke with a 7.5 second lead over Ace Wild. Alexa Luschan in third, Bob Burns fourth. Samuel England now fighting against Huck Davis for fifth. So Ace Wild and Huck Davis have really done a great job. They've been able to drive through the field and up towards top 5 positions. Nelson Reeves in 7th, Blaze McKinney 8th. Richard Johnson is in 9th, Kev Shearer 10th. Bradley Bishop Jr., AJ Jones. Bit of a quiet day for Ryan Griffin. Kind of surprised that it's Alexa Luschan up in the top 5 and not Griffin. Griffin known to be very good on the speedways, but maybe just something missing on the setup here for the number 10 Little Caesar Chevy. Edward Siemba also currently in the points. Tib Foster, William Brock, as Jeff James is going to pit, so I guess we're going to delay going through the field. As Luke Martin is also down pit road right now. He brings down Jeff James, JD Martin, and Shane Anderson. Gives the race lead to Ace Wild. Wild is going to stay out another lap. As here comes Alexa Luschan to pit road on lap 46. AJ Jones, James Silverfox in as well. Josh Crash, Blake Warren, Glenn Mixon, Ricky Freeman Jr., Toby Christie, Benjamin Snyder, Jerry Cook, and Bradley Ream. Man, Ream had a great day at Atlanta. Not having a good day here today at Boston. And it looks like Wild will bring in mostly everybody else. Bradley Bishop Jr. stays out. Tib Foster, Vince Freeze, Dewey Schramm III, who we know had that flat tire about 20 laps ago. But Wild's going to bring pretty much everybody else in. This pit road can get a little crazy, man. They are 3 wide down pit road right now. Ricky Freeman Jr. and Benjamin Snyder, they already pit, but Richard Johnson's going to have to try to get into his stall here. This is not the optimal place to be. Oh, and he oh, wow, what was that? Completely misses his stall, and that's a tow. Bradley Bishop Jr. brings in Vince Freeze and Tib Foster, but I'm hearing there's an issue with the 47. Oh, maybe similar issue here to Richard Johnson. And that's a tough break for Tib. Was really starting to move forward and joined his teammates up in the top 10, and this is going to put them a couple of laps down. Following the green flag cycle, Luke Martin is still your race leader with a 9-second lead over Justin Johnson. Remember, Justin pit 6 laps before Luke Martin did, and that still didn't get him the race lead. Richard Johnson, Tib Foster, they are still stuck on pit road, trying to find the 08. There he is. See Alexa Luschan closing up. Luschan will hold that second place position here shortly. So Luschan currently 3rd. Jeff James up to 4th. That undercut stop. Ace Wild in 5th. Only fell to 5th despite staying out that extra lap to some others. Bob Burns is in 6th place. Richard Johnson now going to join the racetrack. How about JD Martin with that undercut? Moves it up to 7th. Huck Davis just taking 8th away now from AJ Jones. James Silverfox rounds out the top 10, but the biggest gainer here from the undercut is the 62 of Josh Crash. Crash was not in the points, I believe, before the pit stop cycle began. And And with the undercut, has moved his way all the way up to 11th place. So this truck was the fastest in practice and is showing that it's got speed again here in the race. Samuel England 12th, Shane Anderson. The last of those to pit with Luke Martin. Remember, it was Luke, Jeff James, JD Martin, and Shane Anderson all pit on the same lap. So Shane currently in 13th place. We'll have to see how much of that he can hold on to throughout this second run. Nelson Reeves 14th, Glenn Mixon 15th, in need of a good point stay. Blaze McKinney 16th, Bradley Bishop Jr. 17th, Vince Friesen 18th. Vince lost nothing from his overcut compared to Bradley Bishop Jr., who I believe lost about 7 positions. Kev Shearer is 19th, and looking to take 20th away from Blake Warren is Ryan Griffin. There are currently only 22 trucks on the lead lap. The last of those being William Brock. Now actually make that 23 as Arya Carmona passes Luke Martin. So Luke was the first to pit. So I believe we're going to be seeing a lot of drivers unlap themselves here over the course of this second stint. It's been clean and green so far. Drivers a lap down. Edward Siemba, Eric DeMax, Aiden Smith, Dewey Schramm III, who we know has to pit again. Malik Nevins, Randy Riggs Jr., Ricky Freeman Jr., Toby Christie. Actually, I believe Dewey Schramm III just went down pit road. That appears to be the case. Jerry Cook, Benjamin Snyder, Bradley Ream, Ben McDonald. Man, McDonald with a poor stop. He was in the top 20 earlier on. Also got Al Bunch, Jacques Anderson, and Roberto Crown Jr., man. Tough race for Roberto after starting on the front row. But it's a near 12-second lead for Luke Martin here at Boston. Race is on for second place between Ace Wild and Alexa Luchon, as this is pretty much probably going to be the battle to watch for the rest of this race unless we get a caution. Wild pit 1 lap after Luchon. We know he's got a fast Ram and he'll take the position away. Luchon, I think, did the best she could, but couldn't really do much. Now here comes Bob Burns looking for third. Man, what a day for Bob Burns. Has had a bit of a quiet season so far, but sits 11th in the points with 1 top 5 and 3 top 10s to the season. And Burns, I believe, is he higher in points than Siemba? No, Siemba is higher. Siemba 9th in the points with just 3 top 10s on the year. But Siemba not having a good race at all. Siemba currently sits 25th in the running order. Rounding out this current group, you've got Jeff James in the 04 in 5th with Huck Davis in 6th place. Richard Johnson is 5 laps down. Same with Tib Foster, and you can see the tire difference through the middle of the corner. And this is usually where situations like this, you know, they tend to cause cautions because, you know, as a lead lap truck, you might not know that you've got someone 5 laps down with a 5-lap advantage on tires compared to you. And that's usually where contact can occur, primarily entering a corner. We've seen it happen a lot on certain racetracks. So we'll be really having to watch out for Richard Johnson, Tib Foster, and I believe Dewey Schramm III. So those are the 3 trucks on track with a significant tire advantage. Well, it looks like they couldn't stretch it on fuel, so they're going to pit now on lap 74. Justin Johnson had fallen down to 12th place, was still in line to get points. But it's going to be tough to get any points here now. Just a strange strategy by this number 08 Easy Racing Toyota team. And And man, what could have been if they were on the same pit strategy as everyone else. But they're going to have the best tires for the last 16 laps of the race. So we'll have to hope that they don't cause any drama. Puck Davis now running in 5th place as Ace Wild is starting to close the gap on Luke Martin, but I think there's just not enough time to close 10 seconds of distance. As you see Tip Foster starting to move forward here, looking to get down to 4 laps down. And chasing after Richard Johnson, even though it won't be worth anything in the long haul. But a pretty good battle could be shaving up here between Ace Wild and Bob Burns. These two pit on the same lap. So they've got about the same tires here, so it could be all about managing the tires. We know Wild's a bit more of an aggressive driver. Burns a bit more laid back. So we'll have to see over these next 11 laps if Burns has saved his tires a little bit more to maybe get by Ace Wild and take 2nd place home this afternoon. But with 10 laps to go, it's been the Luke Martin show all day long, and it doesn't look like that is going to change. What a day for Vince Friese here in a substitute role, has driven the number 6 Jordan Mitsubishi up from 37th place to 9th. So again, our thoughts with Jordan Fisher, hoping for a good recovery as he is currently in critical condition. And you know Jordan hates to not be in that race truck here this afternoon, chasing another championship. Really good showing. Friese looking to maybe challenge AJ Jones for 8th. See Bradley Bishop Jr. currently in 11th, just outside of the top 10 behind Blaze McKinney, as Justin Johnson is making some moves past these lead lap drivers. Friese will take 8th place. How about Josh Crash running in 12th? What a day for the 62. Made the race on a provisional and could be in line to get enough points to be locked in for Richmond next week. There's no off week after this one. We're going to start to get into the heart of the season. A lot of weeks where we're going to go back-to-back races, week off, back-to-back races, and so on. Really good showing here for Crash. As how about another driver in the top 20 to make note of? How about Blake Warren, another driver that made this race on a provisional and is right behind William Brock right now, looking to maybe get 2 points instead of 1. Blake, like Bob Burns, one of the longest tenured drivers here in the Napa Truck Series. And he is all over the bumper of William Brock. And man, what a surprising mediocre day for William Brock. Just something not set up right on this number 1 truck. Same can be said for the 10 of Ryan Griffin. Really surprised that Griffin is not up towards the front this afternoon compared to teammate Alexa Lushon, who is in 4th place. Pretty tough day for Ryan Griffin. 2 laps to go here, coming to the white flag this time by for Luke Martin. He's had a bumper full of Dewey Schramm III the last couple of laps, but Schramm has just stayed tucked in line behind the 28, not looking to pass him. As there are other drivers around Dewey here racing for position, so maybe a bit of a respectful move to just stay in line behind Luke Martin. But from the pole, Luke Martin is going to get his 2nd win of the season. But more historically speaking, it's his 9th career win, and it's going to tie him atop the list with Ryan Butcher for most all time. Luke Martin gets it done here at Boston, leading 86 of 90 laps. And the biggest margin of victory in recent memory here, 8 seconds. Luke Martin wins over Ace Wild. I mean, no one had anything for Luke this afternoon. Last year's largest margin of victory was only 6.97 seconds. A previous largest was back in 2021 at Finland, which was 11.6 seconds there. Before the race this afternoon, the largest margin so far this year was 0.55 at Homestead. So through 6 races this year, we had every race with a margin of victory at 0.55 or less. And man, oh man, today was just Luke Martin's day. Wild comes home second. Bob Burns third. Great afternoon for him. How about Alexa Lushon in fourth and Huck Davis in fifth? So Huck Davis now through 4 races has 2 top 5s and 2 DNFs. Samuel England 6th. That's a good day for Red Bull's part-time team. Going to put them in a good position for their next attempt. Vince Freeze brings home the numbers 6th and 7th, plus 30 positions over a green flag race. Amazing run by Vince Freeze. Blaze McKinney 8th, Bradley Bishop Jr. 9th, and Jeff James rounds out the top 10. Rest of your drivers earning points this afternoon: AJ Jones, Nelson Reeves, Kev Shearer, Josh Crash, James Silverfox, JD Martin, Ryan Griffin, Arya Carmona, William Brock, and Blake Warren. Some notable mentions: Eric the Max 21st, Malik Nevins 23rd, Siemba 24th. And those 3 drivers just did not have a good truck under them this afternoon. Glenn Mixon 27th, Roberto Crown Jr. 30th. And then, of course, Richard Johnson 40th and Tib Foster 41st. And Cody Goforth, of course, with the blown engine. That was a header failure there on the number 84 Honda. So that's all I've got here for this afternoon. Luke Martin dominates here at Boston International Speedway. And I'll see you guys next week. We go short track racing for the 2nd time this year as we head over to Richmond Raceway. I'll see y'all then.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets, live with every breath. See my message start to spread, and I had so many dreams. Then you hit your teens, life ain't really what it seems. Try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be #1. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooters gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I won, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine.